Hello everybody, and welcome to my Immortal Severance no-hit guide for Sekiro. There's a few things before starting out that I kind of want to mention. My base run for this, I didn't really have much time, because my friend's wanting to start fairly soon. Shout out to Killa B, he just got his no-hit Shura run today, so pretty happy for him. He actually used my guide previously, and I've been helping him on it for the last few weeks. But yeah, he got that, so pretty happy for him. But he's wanting to start IS from what it seems like, and so I didn't really have a whole lot of time to do this, so I just did like one kind of quick run through. I got hit on a couple of bosses, but I don't want to show any hits for the run, so I went back and I redid those bosses that I mess up on. So there's going to be a few jump cuts, and like with the app that I use for editing, it really makes it dog shit. I don't understand why, but that's besides the point. There's a few things. If you want to go into the description of the video, it will show you exactly what buffs you will have for each boss. That's one other thing. If you look at one of those bosses that have jump cuts, I had to use a save state. So my items won't be exactly what you're going to be using. I'm still using all of the items that you would have and what I would use in an actual run, but like let's say you only have one Yashariku in your inventory, I could have 3, but I will only use 1. And there's also a section later where I forget to pick up a buff that I will remind you to pick up said buff. So let's get started. Let's make sure the volume's on. Probably important. Gonna start anytime soon? Okay. So first things first, we'll start through this run and we will jump through the tutorial, you know, per usual. Just jump away. There's a few things to note here if you want to be speedy. It's not very important. You can jump off of that little railing. It's not really a railing, but pole, I guess. And if you jump a little bit more here, if this guy aggro's yellow, Kuro up here won't turn around. So it's like a 3-second time save if that, but it's just nice in general. Yeah, you just jump all the way through here. You kind of jump towards this torch right here. And then once you reach the edge of that little corner there, you'll jump and then into the window. And then you'll talk to Kuro. One of the things I'm going to note here, make sure to go into your settings if you haven't already and turn subtitles off, because there's something called dialogue skips in this game that make it to where you can skip through like minutes of dialogue in, let's say, you know, like 30 seconds, if that. So if you turn subtitles off, I will explain those subtitles or dialogue skips to you whenever they come. So here, you'll just spam through his dialogue, and then you'll get the gourd, and then you'll press start and go out the window. That'll only work if you have subtitles off, though. If you have subtitles on, you have to drain through all of his dialogue. But yeah, just quit out as soon as you get the gourd. Or not quit out, just start. Like, press the start key. And then you'll just run through here. It's pretty straightforward pathing. There's ashes right here that you're going to pick up that are important. There's going to be a total of 6 ashes we're going to be picking up in this run. One's going to be used for Roberto, our armored warrior, and then the other 5 are going to be used on false monk. And you can actually, sometimes whenever you're jumping through here, when you go, this prompt will cancel because you're mid-sprint animation. So if you crouch, that cancels the sprint and you'll always get the door open first try. Just a little time optimization. 1 second here. I need to make sure that my audio is being captured. Just a quick second. There we go. Genichiro is pretty simple. There's a few things that I can kind of explain here. So with Genichiro, this is like more of an in-depth guide, so I imagine you know how to fight him. But you basically just want to attack until he deflects, and then you will deflect his combo and or like R1, and then you'll attack back until he deflects. So if you pay attention here, I'll poke that move. You can actually attack to the right side of that slam and it'll just strafe around it instead of dodging it like that, and you can attack to a side. This thrust will just miss you. You can parry this 3 times, dodge to the right as soon as possible, attack him, and then you could do a dead angle here. You'll parry that move 2 times, hit him once after, and then parry it twice again, and then dodge to the right like you did on the other floating passage. And what that's called is that's called a dead angle right there. It's just another time optimization. That head stomp right there is not 100% consistent, but it works like 95% of the time, so I just take it anyway. If I died, you know, 45 seconds into a run, I don't really care. Yeah, that's Genichiro. You just have to mess around with the dead angles. You have to find the right angle to do it. So you'll sprint through here, you'll just go straight forward, and then once you get to a cliff, you're gonna fall off of it and you're gonna pick up 3 Gachiin. And those are all the Gachiin you're gonna be using for this run. You'll grapple up to the top here, and on the left side that's where you're gonna jump, and you'll grapple this branch down below. You'll pick up these Gachiin, and so this jump here is a little tricky. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to run off of it. You're gonna hit the collision on the edge here, and you're gonna jump forward. But whenever you jump forward, mid-jump, you want to kind of curve to the left a little bit, because the grapple up here, if you just jump straight, you're gonna miss the you're gonna miss the grapple. So if you hang left a little bit, that opens up the grapple to where you can actually grapple towards it. Otherwise, there's this path along the right side that you can take, and it's like 100% consistent. Yeah, I kind of curve left there. And then you'll get up here and you're going to equip your Gachiin in the first slot, your Ashes in the 3rd slot, and your Homeward Bone in the 4th. That 2nd slot's going to be used for Akos when we get them. So you'll Gachiin at the foot of the stairs there, and when you get to that red flag right there, I'll show you. When you get to the base of this red flag right here, that's you jump and that'll skip the aggro of these 2 guys. If you just run straight through, these guys will aggro to you. You want to jump at the base of that flag. And just run up to Ogre, crouch, and death blow. And if you're locked on, that death blow will always just automatically give it to you. So you'll attack, I believe it's 3 times, and you'll like move out of the way for a dead angle. I miss an R1, but if you walk forward and take a step, you won't. You can kind of like guide around or glide around his move a little bit there. 10 hits, he staggers. You can dodge the grabs if you'd like. You can parry the slams. He takes a little bit of practice, nothing crazy. And if you death blow him on the back, the animation for the death blow is a lot faster. I believe it's probably like a 7-second time save, maybe a little less, but there's a longer animation if you parry him in the front, so you always want to get a back death blow if you're going for speed. You can hear a shot there, but I'm fairly certain that line is 100% consistent. I do it without Gachiin a lot of the time in sword only, and there's no issues there even without Gachiin. You can just jump, you can wall jump that ledge, and you can just go straight to this grapple, or you could grapple onto the branch and jump off and grapple the ledge below. So this is kind of interesting tech here. So whenever you hug this wall, you want to like tap, you could watch my analog stick whenever I unpause it, but you kind of want to tap the stick over and over again, not back and forth, but like this way. You want to tap tap tap, because that gets you to the other side of the ledge faster. And you wouldn't think that's a big deal, but we're actually going to skip killing the snake here, and so you want to get there as fast as possible. So if you watch my left analog stick, I'm kind of just tapping away. And whenever you reach the edge of this icicle, you're going to want to jump over into this area and run along the right side of the palanquin. Get to the right. Just sprint through. I'm sorry for the kind of piss poor quality. I'm not really sure what the editor was doing, but it's fine. So yeah, you'll just run through here. You'll take the first 3 grapples here. You won't go up top because you don't need that extra Gachiin or the idol. And then you'll pick up this Akko. And this line's a little bit scary. There's a slight optimization you could do for it. You could wait for this guy over here to walk past and then run through. But if you just grapple, that shot tends to go over your head, and you could kind of just strafe that. It's not the most consistent thing ever, but it's fast, and I enjoy speed. So you'll equip your Akkos into that second slot, pick up those ashes. Those are already pre-equipped. In your third slot, you'll use those on Roberto. So you'll do 6 hits here at the start, and then you'll chase after him and then parry his opener. Now, a few things to note about Gyoubu is that he staggers in 9 hits, and those 9 hits do not include the opening 6 and whenever you hit him during the spear throw where he yells like Toby. He doesn't take poise damage in either of those instances. So if you want to, you can calculate exactly whenever you get a stagger so he doesn't run away. So like what I do is I count my hits most of the time. I don't know if I did in this fight or not. I don't think I did. But like if I'm doing speed runs, I'll count my hits, and so I'll count to 8, and then I'll make sure like his posture bar is like right around here. So then on my 9th hit he staggers and I kill him in the middle of a stagger, because if you kill him in the middle of a stagger he won't run away. If you stagger him and do R1s and he doesn't die, then he will run away immediately after the stagger, and there's nothing you can do about it. Another thing to note about Gyoubu, if you kill him on a deflect death blow, his posture bar does not reset. So let's say you have 8 hits in store and you're about to get a stagger, but you deflect him and it death blows, you will not, he'll stagger on the first hit. So he'll already start running away. So what you want to do is you want to kill him most of the time with an R1 death blow, and his poise meter will reset and you can get in your full 9 again. Gyoubu takes a lot of practice. He's a very, very hard fight. He's not easy in the slightest. I've spent over 100 hours in this arena alone, just practicing the hell out of this guy. So you could tell I was counting the 9, and then I knew that move was gonna miss me, and I got that stagger. So you want to kind of guide him if you're being fast. You want to kind of guide him over to this wall, because that's where we're going to be going. So let's say you end up all the way over by the gate, like where the idol is. That's a lot of time loss because you have to run across the arena. So if you can get him over here, that's the most ideal. So when you grappled him here, you can like bait a kick by attacking to his ass. It doesn't always work. I run here because that was weird position, but most of the time I'll just parry that follow-up. Chase after him when he staggers, and most of the time he'll do an attack. And so this is a really good, that's a really good showcase of a known AI break. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Most of the time it's whenever you like are manipulating him and you end up behind his ass in the middle of a move. He'll just freeze until you stagger him, so it's a free, easy hits. So you'll run up here, and whenever you talk to Tengu, basically you're just going to hold down on your D-pad and you'll hit refuse. So whenever you hold down, it automatically scrolls to the very bottom, like as fast, like before you can even press the button, like before it buffers. So like I was already on refuse there. You don't have to spam through and then like manually press down. So now you'll go straight to the idol and you'll use your attack power. Very important. You don't want to miss that. That's good damage. Well, that's all you'll do at this idol. Just increase your AP and then open the door. And there's a spot up here that I'll point out to you that you can jump and the gunner shot will always miss you, and so you don't have to kill him. You see this part right here? It's either right here or right here, you'll see. I think it's right here. This little bush right here, if you jump up, it will make this gunner, his shot will always miss you. I have never had that gunner shot hit me ever in my life. You just jump right there, boom, it misses you. You can kill him if you'd like. You can strafe around his right side and kill him. Well, you'll take this left path here and you'll pick up these Akos. That's 2 free Akos. Now this bull strat is very interesting. Let me explain here what I just did there. So you'll run straight through here, and there's these 2 guys right here. If you run straight through, they're gonna aggro to you, and you don't want that because there's 2 extra enemies in an arena that you don't want to bother with. So if you run around this right side, and when you hit this rock right here, this little like mound of snow, you can just jump over like around this wall, and those guys will just like be completely oblivious to you and they won't aggro. They don't even go yellow. So you can kill him and come over to the right side of this plank. Bull will always kill these 2 guys, and then this strat is very interesting. It's kind of difficult. You don't have to do it. It's very nice, especially if you have an Akko, because like if you're running sword only, it's a little bit slower because Akko is 25% damage increase. But so you want to try to, after he drifts, so whenever he's running around, he kind of slowly drifts and then goes a different direction. After he drifts, you want to get in front of his head. As you see, he's drifting here. I get in front of his head, and then I dash around to his left, or his right, your left, and I position. He'll do this attack. He can do this attack, and he can do like a 3 shake head bash. I'm sure he does it in this fight. It's like a 50-50 chance. This one seems to be a little bit more common, maybe, but it's just a gamble. He'll do this attack. It'll move over to the right. It'll miss you, and then you can lock on, and that'll automatically move it to where your character attacks toward his head, and you'll get a headshot. And then you can attack once, dash behind, poke his head when he staggers, and then do 2 hits whenever he runs away. Like that, and he'll go, poke his head, poke his head, he staggers. You can do 2 hits, 2 pokes on a big stagger, does it again, and that's the fight. It's super easy. This is the whole thing. Yeah, it's super easy fight. He's very predictable as well. Very, very, very predictable. It doesn't matter what side of the arena you're on, because this door takes forever to fucking open anyway. So you'll run through here, and then get this grapple right here. Get this grapple, get this grapple. So you want to get to the top of this tower right here. And as soon as you land, you'll crouch and then go to like the far edge of this right here. I kind of nudge a little bit forward here in a second. But you want to be over here. This guy will aggro to you. He won't full aggro, but he'll go yellow to where like he's searching for you. Like, oh, there's somebody over here. I wonder who the fuck it is. But he'll like go yellow and he'll start walking this way. And so whenever you run around and jump up here, he's looking this way and investigating over here, so you could just run through. Kind of see it here. He starts walking over there. You're running through. He's walking this way. He doesn't see you. He doesn't even notice you. Okay, now I was kind of bashed in my last guide because I did front side in a guide. You don't have to do this. You can look up backside dojo skip, but this is the fastest way, and this is for like an advanced guide. So if you don't want to do that, you can do backside. You can even run through like the night jars if you'd like. You just have to look up those strats. I don't have a spare clip. So this is Genichiro cheese. This is an interesting cheese. It's kind of tight for the strat that I do, but you could just do 4 hits and then you can walk forward. I'll explain it. So you'll run through here, and there's a line right here. This line, this last line before the like dark wood plank, you're going to attack twice on. If you attack further than this line, he will shoot you in the back. If you attack a little bit before, it's fine. I don't think I've ever had a real issue, but you want to attack generally where this line is. So you'll attack twice, dash left, and jump up and get into this corner. You'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and whenever you're going for the 5th hit here, you can't just do an immediate 5th hit because the weapon kind of sweeps, and so it won't hit him. So what you could do is you could walk forward. You could do 4 and then walk forward. As soon as you see your character's step, you could do another 4 hits. Wait for your character to step, 4 hits, wait for your character to step, 4 hits, over and over again like that. Or you could do this, which is a little bit more advanced, which is called 5-hit Genichiro cheese. If you delay your 5th shot, or not your 5th shot, but your 5th R1, and you angle it towards him, it'll make it to where you could just keep dead angling him nonstop. The thing about that is you have to delay your 5th attack, because if you don't delay it, he'll block it, and then he's out of the cheese. 3, 4, delay your shot. It doesn't seem like it's delayed, but it's very slightly delayed. Whenever he backsteps like that, watch his little feet. When he shuffles, that means he's gonna go into an arrow move, and so you just dodge into him. It's possible to cancel it if you R1 fast enough, but I haven't even really messed with that because it's scary. Yeah, it's a pretty simple cheese, especially if you do the 4-hit. I think I do 4-hit in my Shura guide if you want to check that out. I could be wrong though, and I kind of messed it up here, but I ended up fixing it. So whenever you go into phase 3 here, you're going to want to immediately Akko, so spam up on the D-pad to select your item, and then you will hold all the way back like a 180 on the left stick. You're going to hold 100% like the 180 direction from where you're facing, and you're going to hold that until after Genichiro's attack lands. If you just turn around, he's going to hit you, so you want to kind of walk. So you wait until after his attack lands to turn back and start attacking him. See how I kind of walk forward and his attack missed. This is just pretty much the same fight as what you fought in the tutorial, but there's lightning involved. So on the lightning, you can dodge it. You can just dash through it, or you can dash to the side. Although if you want to dash to the side, you need to keep in mind that your iframes are lower whenever you're locked on. Whenever you're locked on, you have a total of 6 iframes, and whenever you're locked off, you have 9. And you can kind of test this out. Whenever you're locked on to an enemy and you do a sidestep, so like you dash to the left and you're locked on, your character does a sidestep instead of like a full dash, so you have 6 iframes in that compared to being locked off and you have 9. So it's just a tighter dodge if you're locked on, so you can just unlock and dash to the side of it, or you could just dash through it like a Mikiri, because if you dash straight, you'll always get the full dash anyway, even when you're locked on, so that's a full 9. And I kind of just teabag him here because he's a little nerd. This is another part where you'll dialogue skip. You can actually jump over the staircase for it to be faster. You can walk all the way down. So you go up to Kuro and you're gonna hold down on the D-pad and you're gonna spam X. And you'll do that item, or you'll do that dialogue option, and then you'll press start to skip it, and then you'll go until you get the item and you'll skip that. Talk to the incense burner, skip. Talk to him again, skip. And you'll go to the idol. While he's walking back, you'll use your attack power. And then you'll talk to him and skip again.
Isshin.
Make sure you have your homeward bone equipped, or homeward idol rather. You'll just go talk to Tengu here. Another dialogue skip here, I'll explain it to you. So you'll spam through all the way until you get to its first dialogue option, and then you'll spam through more. You'll hit his second dialogue option, and then you'll press start and then bone to temple. If you were to cancel the first one and just go to temple, then he will still be here and you can't progress the story to monkeys. going to temple here is important because you need the skill book. Now I mess up here. What you want to do is you want to initially talk to the sculptor, press start, and then talk to him again and immediately press start. I just exhausted his dialogue here like an idiot. A second time loss. Oh my god, dude. And then you'll travel to Ashina Castle, and then you'll take the senpou running section. We're going to Roberto. And in the description, like I said, I will have exactly what items you will have for each boss, and what items you'll use on a running section. So I'll just go through whatever items you'll be using through the whole run. So here you're going to want to pick this heavy coin purse up because you're going to be buying emblems later before Guardian Ape, because you'll run out of emblems if you do all the same strats that I do. So you can grapple up there and the crickets will never hit you. And just run along this section like this. Sorry I'm yawning a lot. It's 1:17 a.m. right now. I'm just trying to bust out this guide. So you'll jump up here, you'll pick up these Akos, and then jump at this corner, and this guy should never hit you. And you'll hug the right side of this here, and then just sprint up. That shot will always miss, and they will never follow you into this room. And this is where we wait for an elevator. Isn't this fun? Take a smoke break, you know, chill, pet your dog, go make some dinner, and come back for the elevator to be down. Boom. And here you can do 9 attacks and then sprint, and out of your sprint animation you can do a walking, or not a walking, you can jump like this and you'll just fling forward. So 9 attacks, sprint, and then out of the sprint animation jump. It'll just drop down here. It'll just take this straight pathing all the way through here. All the way. Pick up that Akko. If you want to fight Roberto with an Akko, you can pick up the Akko that was just before that room on the ground outside on the right hand path, but I don't use an Akko because I do a different strat on Roberto. I use an Ash. This line can be tricky, but it's 100% consistent. If you jump up, grab this, jump up here, and then jump up on this ledge and sprint all the way, jump over this guy's head, and then hug this right side, those guys should never hit you. Even whenever you're climbing up, they can't hit you. So what I do here, this is a little interesting, and you don't have to fight him this way if you don't want to. It's just a little nice time save. For hitless, this is completely allowed. For like glitchless speedruns, it isn't though. It's Roberto cheese. You can make Roberto fall off the ledge without a death blow in the middle of his berserk combo. So what I do is I just full sprint up to him. Whenever I hit this snow patch right here, or like white patch, I'm not sure if it's snow, but just like the wear and tear on the bridge, I use an Ash. And then I do 4 hits. And then on the next hit, he'll stagger. So I believe it's 5 hits for a stagger. And so after he staggers, you're going to want to position. Oh, shit. After he staggers, you're going to want to position right here. Right to the side of this thing. And you could go through with his berserk combo. After the 3rd parry, you're going to want to position yourself in the corner of this scaffolding here. And then you'll parry his attack and he'll just fall. Not the most consistent thing in the world, but it works quite a bit of the time. It kind of has to do like relative to his position a little bit. So like if he's off more closer to you, sometimes that won't work. But with an Ash, there should be no position problems. So you'll grapple up here and make sure to run along the left side of here, because there's a rat over here who can poison you. If you take the right side, he'll notice you, so you don't want to worry about him. And you can just grapple up here and Gachiin. Now this tech is a little interesting, and I'll explain to you. So what you want to do is you want to land on this railing here, so it skips these two aggro. And then when you get to this like black dot here, where like it just like the detail and the railing, you want to jump. And whenever you're right here, you want to jump up and out. And there's a monk here who, if you jump over his head, he won't aggro. So you come up here, jump and jump across, and see how he doesn't aggro at all. You can run through and open the bridge completely safe. Or not open the bridge, open the door completely safe. Those spear monks won't aggro. Because the reason those spear monks aggro is because this guy will chain aggro. He'll be like, huh? And he'll come over here and investigate. And those guys will also investigate because their friends are. You know, cool aggro tech. So if you don't aggro him, these guys will never aggro to you at all. They'll go yellow, but they won't actually ever like walk over to you in time. Sweet Gachiin, baby. Sweet Gachiin. So you'll immediately dash back, hit him, jump up here, death blow this guy. Jump down here, and you'll just kill him. Just do an immediate, like, walk over and just do an R1. He won't jump away. Grapple up here, grapple to this branch, and just full sprint up. This guy will drop down here and run up through here. If you just full sprint, it should never do anything. The only thing that can happen to mess this up is if you're like, if your line's slightly off, you can actually stagger him out of the air and he'll like fall back and run somewhere else. You just have to, I guess, figure out the pathing for that, but it should never happen if you know the line. And you should know the line because AshenDev just taught you. Your mentor, your Lord and Savior AshenDev has come to your rescue. So now you'll jump up just to, because jumping is faster whenever you're slow walking and it forces you to slow walk. Skip through this cutscene, get the Mortal Blade, equip it, and then come back over here. You'll rest at this idol. You can actually rest at it through the pillar, it's funny. Use your memory and go into your skills, and you'll buy Makiri Counter, Whirlwind Slash, Midair Deflect, this emblem up here, and Midair Combat Arts. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. You'll travel into Kuro's room. Grab this key. Yeah, this Gunfort line is 100% consistent. It'll never get you hit. It's actually not the fastest thing in the world. There's faster stuff that you can do, but this is... I like taking Gunfort a little bit safe. I'll admit, dude, I love my speed, but I prefer the safer approach with Gunfort. So you'll drop down here. And there's this pathing right here is kind of interesting. If you run along this left side, you'll get spotted early by this guy and he'll shoot you midair. If you run along this right side here, this cliff will actually block this guy's eyesight instead of running over here. So if you run along the right side, pick up the ash, stay like against the right, pick up the ash, jump down, he'll shoot you, but after you land. If you jump over this way, he will notice you and he'll shoot you out of the air. So I stay right, pick up the ash, jump down, grapple, and he shoots after I land and I'm already past. Just fall down here, no need to worry about that lizard, just jump across. Jump up to this branch, immediately Gachiin. And that's all the Gachiin you use for this run. Come up to this ledge, jump down, grapple here. There's a other grapple right here that you can grapple to. And you'll grapple here. Jump up, grapple. Once you get to the side of this bush, jump across, grapple up here, crouch. Make sure you're crouched this whole way until you get to the bridge, otherwise the guys will aggro. And then you'll just sprint. When you get to right here, you'll jump down. Kind of get a late grapple there, so the shots miss while they're firing, and then you'll just come over and sit in this corner for what seems like forever until these guys completely de-aggro. You'll jump up, come across here, up there, hang here, kill this guy, shimmy over to the left, drop down, jump up, grapple up here, jump up here, kill this guy. You'll run all the way up here, hug this ledge, kill him, and you'll run along the right side of this little area here, and then drop down. That guy will never shoot you if you run along the right side like that. That was the first jump cut. Yeah, I died to Giraffe. Can you believe it, guys? I died to Giraffe, dude. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to run in, you want to R1 him at the very start, and then you'll parry the first 8 hits of his 9-hit combo, and then you'll dash the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you'll do 9 then, and then you'll dash the 10th. So it's a 10-hit combo. You dash the 9th hit, and then whenever you do that MD, it's very important that you hold back on the stick after you jump. So you don't want to jump completely back. You don't want to hold back and press X because you'll jump like full-fledged backward. But what you want to do is you want to jump up and hold back on the stick after you jump, so you kind of land on his head and stagger him. So if I were to just jump straight up, he wouldn't stagger. You have to hold back a little bit. And then here you want to have him positioned against the wall so he doesn't roll out, and then you want to MD his ass, so you'll jump up, kind of drift over to his ass, and then you'll do 2 MDs, and then you'll do a single floor MD. 1, 2. And this is actually ample time to explain to you why I jump whenever I mortal draw. I jump whenever I mortal draw because the game kind of bugs out and makes the game think you're using an empowered mortal draw. So it's actually 50% more damage whenever you get a jumping mortal draw versus a floor mortal draw. And I'm pretty sure the animation is faster anyway. Here's another jump cut. Keck. My video editing software is so ass, dude. Okay, but here you will, there's a little ledge right here where it's kind of like discoloration. So this is all white. There's a little bit of discoloration right here. You'll get the collision right here and you'll jump off. And there's literally, if you watch, there's literally an arrow pointing you to where you want to go. There's an arrow right there. You see it? It's telling you to go this way. So follow the arrow, dude. Right past the snake. Straight into the cave. The snake will never hit you if you take that route. Just do exactly as the game tells you, and boom. Completely safe. Make sure to get this idol. This idol is very important. Here's a little jump skip I do to skip the rest of this running section. You'll just jump here. And there's a grapple you can take. There's one down there and there's one up here. One is safer, obviously, because it's higher up, and one is lower where you can smack the ground and you'll gray screen and it counts as a hit. So I'd prefer the high grapple. It's like a second time loss if you take the high grapple versus the low grapple. It's definitely more swagalicious to take the low grapple though. You'll just jump up here, dodge that lizard. Now this snake bit is a little bit precise, so what you want to do whenever he comes out, you're going to want to drift over to the left, and before your character's foot hits the left side of this bridge right here, you want to jump. If you run straight and then jump at the last moment, and your foot hits the collision of this wall, you're going to die. Because what happens is your character stutters. I'm sure if you've played this game, you realize at the edge of ledges in this game, if you're gonna fall to your death, what happens is the game puts a collision box on the wall, so it like forces you like, hey, you don't want to fall off this ledge, but actually you do in this scenario. It's weird how that works. So you want to jump before your character's foot hits this wall, and you won't get collision, and you can just jump and grapple over here. Super easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So you'll jump up here, pick up these divine confettis. And you're actually not going to use a buff on Snake Eyes. So I guess if you do the ash cheese, you can actually pick up that other buff. I didn't think about that. If you do the ash cheese on Roberto, you can actually just pick up the other buff in senpou, and you'll have two, one for Snake Eyes and one for Centipede. So you kill that guy, buffer your jump grapple there, sprint up to Snake Eyes, get the death blow. Like I said, you don't buff. At least I didn't. You'll do 4 MDs on her. I don't do any more, because there's no point, they're just gonna be dead. I just fight her legit after the 4. You just run straight through up here. You don't have to get the hidden forest idol. You just sprint straight through. If you want the hidden forest idol, you can go ahead and take it to like replenish buffs. There's no need. Some people just take bonfires for safety. So you'll grapple to that, and then you'll jump and hit this chicken so he staggers and he doesn't hit you. If you don't hit him, he can like jump at you and hit you. You just hit him out of the way, stagger him. Pick up these snap seeds there. There was Yash that I picked up back there that I forgot to mention. Now this skip's a little interesting. You skip the Tokujiro running section. So you jump up here, and this tree you can actually jump up on and onto the roof. So it's like a tree skip in Dark Souls 3. Like pretty much exactly like it. So what you'll do is you'll just get up on this branch, you'll jump, stand on that branch, and then jump up on the roof. Fall, death blow. And you can MD Miss Noble, but I like emblem hoarding, so I just R1 her. You know, I'll take some 6 free emblems, dude. Now there's this bush right here. You want to jump and then you hang right a little bit, and then you're gonna get a grapple on a tree, so you can skip running along this side. So you just run straight through here. There's a pot enemy up here that looks scary, but his hitbox only activates whenever he hits the ground. So whenever his pot is midair, it won't actually hit you. It doesn't have a hitbox. So he'll never hit you. And you just grapple up to the top there. Run straight on through. So what you'll do is you'll swap your Akos for Yash, and then you'll swap your... You'll swap your Gachiin for Yash, and then you'll swap your Akos for snap seeds. And then at the 5th slot, you'll put divine confetti. I forgot to do that and then realized late. In the 5th slot, you'll put divine confetti. Now this line is interesting. So you'll run along this straight side on the left. There's gonna be these 3 little lanterns here. You're gonna want to move into the middle of the arena. Once you get past these lanterns, and you're going to want to stay on the left side of this rock right here. This side is like the barrier that you don't want to cross. If you go along the right side of this rock, Monk will aggro to you. If you stay along the left, she will not, because she spawns in and her eyesight is flush with this side. If you stay behind right here, she cannot see you. If you stay on this side, she's perfectly in sight and she will see you, and the strat will mess up and you won't be able to get the secret death blow. So you'll do 2 snaps, dash, snap seed again, and then you'll do 5 ashes. 3, 4, 5, jump, jump, death blow. So you use the pillar here as a thing to hop against. So you'll backstep at the foot of this pillar, you'll jump up, and then you'll jump up off of this pillar right here over to her. And you'll get a death blow. You'll rest at this idol. Actually, I need to go back and explain to you guys one thing real quick. After Miss Noble, there is a Yashiriku that I forgot to pick up. Washed up hitless runner, dude. There's a Yashiriku right here. You can kind of see the item. That is a Yashiriku sugar. You want that. That is very 100% needed. You will mess up all of your strats if you do not pick up that Yashiriku. Pick that up. I've been running sword only, and I completely forgot it was there when running through here. And one of my strats later was messed up, and so I had to make a jump cut. But you'll come up, pick up the shelter stone, and then bone the last communed idol. Ignore the Emma Coomer loading screen. You'll use your heavy coin purse that you picked up earlier, and you'll use your memory, and then you'll buy spear emblems. You'll use that spirit emblem skill there. I think you buy like 16. And then you'll go to your Riven Cave idol, the one that I told you was important earlier. So for Ape, you're going to be wanting to use an Akko and a Yashiriku. You don't want to use 2 Akko, or you don't want to use 2 Yash, because you'll run out of a Yash later. So grapple up to the hand, up across here. Now, I'll explain 2 strats here. So I do this interesting grapple tech to where you grapple over to this branch and then just do an MD here for quick headshots with the Immortal draw. Because Ape has headshot tech as well, so if you hit his head, it does more damage. But you can drop down, and at the foot of this tree, don't pass the tree, but at the foot, like right here in these little leaves, you can Yash and then run up and then Mortal draw him and then do the loop as I do. But I use an Akko here. I guess I think I might have said Yash, but I meant Akko. Grapple to that tree and then do 2 MDs. One to the head, dash, and then you'll do 2 hits. And you'll start your second combo here whenever this arm reaches the floor. So it hits the floor, you do 5 hits, 3, 4, 5. He'll do a big stagger, do 2 hits. His arm will reach the floor, do 5 hits. Easy peasy, baby. And boom, the fight's over. No questions asked, just go straight to Owl now. I don't know why I decided to stand right here, but... Oh yeah, I forgot about this phase. Okay, so... Whenever his hand puts his hand, or whenever he puts his hand on this head right here, you're gonna Yashiriku. You'll do 1 hit, because there's tech with this boss that's really interesting. I'm not fully sure why they decided to do it the way they did, but they did, and it's just weird. So his poise meter will exceed the stagger limit if you have an R1 in store since the last stagger. So if you do the Yash whenever I told you to, as soon as he puts his hand on his head, you can do an immediate R1, and if he opens with a scream, that gives you that R1 in store to where you can immediately do an MD. If he walks to the side like this, you can do another R1, which will just even more solidify it, but it's still 100% consistent either way. And so that makes it to where you can use a mortal draw to scream cancel. So he'll do a scream here, I do a mortal draw, it cancels it. But the only reason that canceled it, if I didn't have an R1 in store, that move would not have canceled. And he would have hit me. He would have just continued to do his full scream, and it would have hit me. So for this move, you're going to parry this and parry his follow-up. And then you're going to do 2 hits. 1, 2, and you're going to dash to his right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to backstep. He's going to come down, do a jump MD, look up to the sky, do another jump MD, because that makes it to where you headshots. So I'll show you again. Parry, just do a normal jump MD. Unlock, look to the sky, do another jump MD. And that gives it a headshot, and he's dead. Super easy. No freaking problems, dude. You guys are really free. You can pick up spear and do slow Abe if you'd like, but there's just more room for memes. I don't know why people do that. So here you'll bone. I don't know why I went into my menu there. I had it equipped, but you know, don't worry about what I'm doing, okay? Worry about yourself. And I think this was another jump cut because I messed up the owl running section. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so you'll spawn in. You'll use your attack power. You'll hug the right side here. And then you'll jump over this guy. He'll never aggro if you hug the right side on that bridge. If you run through the middle, he can. Pick up this Yash, that's important. This carp actually will never hit you. It looks like it can because it's, you know, an enemy or mob, but he'll never hit you. He doesn't have hitbox. So whenever you land on this ledge, don't move forward, don't move to the right, don't move to the left, don't move back. Just stand here until this guy grabs his sword. When he grabs the sword on his back, then you can run through. If you run straight through, he'll land on your head and he'll hit you. You just take this line, jump grapple, jump grapple. And whenever you land here, what you want to do after you land is you want to jump left instead of jumping straight up, because if you jump straight up, the lone shadow in the back can throw a shuriken at you, or a throwing knife, and it'll hit you in the back. So if you jump left, it actually dodges that knife. Okay, that looked close, but I assure you it wasn't. You'll come up here and you'll talk to him. You'll hold down on the D-pad to get the second dialogue option. And you'll immediately use one of your confettis and walk to the right. Now this you're gonna have to mess around with. I didn't, there's like 3 or 4 different RNGs you can give. I only did the one because I didn't want to mess around with it and do all 3 showcases. It's something for you to figure out, okay? I'm not just gonna do this for you. So you wanna walk to the right. You just wanna get him into this corner. Gonna just get him in there. It's just the same as Genichiro cheese, except you can attack however long you want to. No issue. And now you want to run out past this board. He slams, and then you want to dodge. So if you just run straight up to him, he'll hit you with a smoke bomb. So you want to dodge as it's about to hit the floor. You can't tell, but I dodged there. And then he's just in position again. Now you may notice in the bottom right, I have firecrackers equipped. I wonder how those got there, dude. Probably because I had to load a save state. If I had to throw a wild guess. Oh, and I have 19 emblems. Guys, I'm cheating. I'm cheating. That's just what's going on here. What? It's doing this again? What the hell? What the hell? Okay. My video editor bugged out. So come down here. Use this idol. Use your attack power. Rest to spawn Emma. You'll immediately talk and skip Emma. You'll come up to Kuro, immediately talk to him and skip. Talk to him again, spam through his dialogue, it'll talk about a flower. Spam through, get an item, skip. Spam through, get another item. Skip, talk to him and immediately skip. And you'll go over to Emma, spam through her dialogue, she'll give an item, and then you skip after you get the item. You'll talk to Kuro, immediately skip. Wait, no, you'll get his item, yeah. And then skip, and then you'll talk to him, immediately skip, and then you'll talk to the incense burner. Spam through this, Wolf about uses a bite down. But he just uses the blade instead, because he's edgy. And then skip that dialogue, and then you'll go to the monk idol, where you killed false monk. Wedding cave door. Now, monk is a little bit interesting. Very interesting. If you're doing this no prosthetics, you're gonna have to learn the fight. If you pick up firecrackers and you pick up a bunch of extra ash, you can do a script. If you're curious, I believe I do a script on her in my first Immortal Severance run. So you have to go through my videos and find my first Immortal Severance no hit. So run up here, get this. That was another jump cut, I'm sorry. Skill issue. So you'll grapple here, and then you're gonna use a Yashiriku. Walk forward like a step, and then Yashiriku though, so it triggers respawn. Jump down, 2 mortal draws, 4 hits. And then you're just gonna have to learn this fight. There's not a whole lot of tips I can give you for it, and I'm sorry. Because even I'm not very good at this fight. I'm very passive. Way more passive than I should be. I need to practice it more. But it's enough to showcase it in a guide. Phase 3 monk, I'm perfect at. I can do phase 3 monk all day. All day, no issues. So what you want to do here is you want to kind of walk back just a little bit. When her foot hits the ground, this left foot, so you'll jump, death blow. When her right foot, your left side, her foot like steps on the ground, you'll use a Yash. Step, Yash, and then do 1 MD. Parry 4 times, 3, 4, and then jump by frame the last, and then do 1. I have extra emblems, so that's just because of my save state, I think. 2, 3. Dodge that. 1, 2, 3. And then you're just gonna, like I said, you're just gonna have to toy around with her moveset. You're gonna have to learn the fight a little bit. But feel free to shoot me a DM, and if you're curious about scripts, I can send you some scripts. I can teach you some. I'm always down to help. Join up in my Discord. You can message me on Twitch Whispers. Anything. I don't mind. I'm always down to help. So this is Fountainhead skip. This is everybody's favorite skip. Everybody loves it so much. It's definitely not scary at all. 100% consistent. No copium involved. So my line is actually, my line is actually really consistent. I haven't messed it up in quite a long time, okay? So what you want to do is you're going to swim 3 times. I'll show you again. You're going to swim 3 times. You're going to jump over this big branch right here. 1, 2, 3, and then just hold forward on the stick to get over to here. You don't want to do an extra swim dash. As soon as that lightning bolt hits the branch, you're going to want to dive, do 2 immediate dashes, and then you're going to delay your 3rd and 4th dash. So what I do is I use a sound cue. It may not work for you, but it's like whenever my character it goes, and then on that like second whoosh, that's whenever I do this. That's whenever I do the other swim. You'll do 2 swims, and then you'll delay the same, and then you'll just swim through. Yeah, I'm kind of delaying and not going super fast there and buffering it. I'll show you one more time. 1, 2, delay, delay, delay. And boom. That's Fountainhead skip. Super easy. Heard it here first. I learned it here first even. Look at you guys. Moving up in the world. Learning Fountainhead skip on your first run. Y'all are cracked. Congrats to you guys. You guys have AshenDev as your coach, dude. What could go wrong? So here, you're going to rest and you're going to use your memory. You need to make sure to rest because there's actually a meme with Divine Dragon that can happen that can cause a lot of time loss. If you don't rest there, what can happen is Dragon will, like whenever you're fighting first phase, you just can't grapple to one of the branches. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So yeah. You just run straight up the intended pathing. You even put a road there. You're like, I'm just gonna guide you through. And you'll confetti for the start of phase 1. Make sure to do a little spin. Very important. And 4 hits will kill this first dragon. You need to make sure to kill him, because the trees won't spawn if you don't kill at least 1. And what I do is I just treat this like old like Hob style deacons, and I just run around them. I don't even worry about hitting them unless I'm doing speedruns, because they can hit back. They can hit back, and it's very fast, and it's scary, and losing a run to dragon is not fun. Now that is that's a classic. These death blows are so hot garbage, you're gonna miss them. It's just gonna happen. You just have to pray you don't get hit out of whenever you fall. So what I do after the second is I stand on the branch and I wait for them to come to me, and then whenever the branch disappears, I fall on them and death blow. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Wait for the branches to come up again. I jump, and I kill them dead. Easy baby game for baby gamers. And now this hit does not count as a hit. This is scripted. You can't dodge it unless you do a frame perfect dodge, which Team Hills is not going to require that because that's fucking like godlike. So if you've ever fought dragon, it's pretty straightforward. You just run to the lightnings and you throw it at her. She already did a gust there? That's crazy. Yeah, you'll make sure to lock on. If you don't lock on, you're just gonna miss. And I see so many like first time players not realize that they can lock on. Yeah, just lock on, chuck it at her. So those you can dodge, or you can like fully just run strafe them. Either way, it doesn't matter. If you're close to a lightning branch, you tend to just want to dodge it instead of strafing and running. I believe it's like 5 or 6 lightnings will send her into phase 2. There is a speedrun strat that I have yet to learn. There's a speedrun strat that I have yet to learn with Mortal Draw. It's very not safe for no hit, so I don't recommend doing it, especially like if you're watching a guide. It'd take way too long to learn that shit. I didn't implement it in this run. I don't even know how to do it myself. So I don't give a shit. I'll take the time loss of dragon any day. It's fine with me, dude. I do not mind. So yeah, it's a very boring fight, especially for being so close to the end. It's like Lorien and Lothric in DS3 if you cheese them. So whenever you send her, you want to run all the way back because that Gus is a big hitbox. You just want to run to the edge of the arena and just dash these attacks to the right. You can parry them as well if you want to be ultra cool. She does some sweeps too, like that. Just jump them. Stay in position. She'll do a big long poke like that, and this is where it'll start running left. Jump 2 sweeps, and then sprint straight for the last 3. That's the same scripted combo every time. The poke, 2 sweeps, and then 3 slams. The middle is always the landing, and boom. Easy, easy, Bob's your uncle, dude. Just run up to her head, death blow, and bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. The fight is over. And now you wait. Again, just go walk your dog real quick. You'll go up here, you'll talk to Emma. And I actually exhaust her dialogue like a casual. You can just skip it and she'll give you the key immediately. So just talk to her and skip. You'll run along to this right corner here. You'll just fall off and get the grapple on the bridge, or the rooftop there. You'll fall down. More often than not, you'll take damage there. I haven't actually figured out what causes you to take damage and what doesn't. It's kind of just a gamble. It doesn't really matter though, because you're going to rest at an idle anyway. And health isn't very prominent in no hit, especially in a game like this where fall damage is pretty much non-existent. Like, you would have died from that fall in any Souls game. Therefore, Sekiro is better. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Gaming. Do just jump here. Get that grapple. 7 Spears is optional. I didn't know 7 Spears was optional until I started running no hit. I hated fighting him every single time. So rest at this idol, and then you'll use your memory. And you'll equip your gourd. Because there's some tech on phase 1 Genichiro that you want to use. So you want your Yash, your divine confetti, and your gourd. I don't know what my menuing is here. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm tired. I think I do eventually equip it, unless I jump cut and never do. That's a fucking classic, dude. Okay. Don't mind me, dude. Okay, so at the very start of the fight, you will immediately gourd. You'll buff outside of the arena and go in, immediately gourd. You'll only have 2 Yashiriku here, and you'll only have 1 divine confetti. But yeah, so you want a Yash for phase 1 Genichiro, and you want a Yash for phase 2 Isshin. So you'll immediately gourd, it baits a Makiri every single time, and you just attack him. You literally just fight him like phase 3, except dodge the Moral Blade. Don't bother parrying it, you're gonna die, or at least take damage. I don't know why I dodged that thrust, I'm so used to no skills. You'll just immediately charge Isshin. And if you fought Shura Isshin, it's pretty much the same. If you haven't, you just attack until he deflects, parry his combo. The same as Genichiro, really, it's just a different moveset. You just have to learn the different, you just have to learn his fight. There's not really much I could just show you right off the bat here unless I want to make a 40-minute guide on Isshin alone. So this dodge, this opener here, is really precise. So you'll hit him at the very start, you'll go into phase 1, or he'll go into phase 2, stomp, hit him, and then as his foot's about to hit the ground, you dodge, use a Yashiriku, do 2 body R1s, and then do an MD. he'll dash, and if he does that sweep back like that, on the first one, on the first sweep back, like the jump, he will always use the gun after. You can see him already pulling out the gun here. He will always pull out the gun, so you could just go up to him, dash, jump MD. If you're close enough, the gun will not hit you because his arm reaches like past your character hitbox. You can see him shoot and it just misses because I'm inside of him. So with him, you want to kind of fight him like Emma. You just attack until he blocks. You don't want to bait deflex because he can do weird attacks. So phase 3, I did completely unsafe. But whenever I dodged the lightnings, I did an MD after every single one and just dead angled them. It's not the safest thing in the world. It can work, but I advise you, if you're having trouble with it, to if you're having trouble with it, just dodge the lightning and then attack like normal, beta block, and just don't even use MD. Easy fight, TBH. If you die to him, it's a skill issue. Keck W. But yeah, that is Immortal Severance no hit. What you'll do here is you'll just go talk to Kuro and trigger the ending, but I imagine you know how to do that. Just talk to Kuro here. It's your memory that you're never going to use. Talk to him, trigger the ending, and boom. That's the run. So yeah, that's for sub-hour Immortal Severance. So if you want an Immortal Severance run faster than an hour, so just take it on your lunch break or some shit. I don't know, do what you want. But yeah, that's Immortal Severance. It's a pretty quick run. It's a really fun run. Probably one of my favorite things to do, like just casually. The bosses at the end are very fun. Owl's fun if you fight him legit, but in this run I don't. Monk's fun. Her whole fight's fun. I love Monk to death. Divine Dragon's really boring, but I'll excuse it for Sword Saint. Yeah, I have another Shura guide that I released a few weeks ago. That's really good if you want to start with Shura. This is Immortal Severance, so it's just a different ending. If you have any questions, feel free to look in the description. It'll show you exactly what items you want to use, what items you're going to be picking up, and it'll have my Discord server link, and it will have my Twitch account, so you could whisper me there. So it all comes down to just what you prefer. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, shoot me a DM. It doesn't really matter either or. I will respond that day. I can almost promise you. So yeah, good luck on your no-hit endeavors, and I will see you hopefully in chat, or whenever you get your run and submit it, and whenever I go to verify it. So good luck, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.